Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Sorcerer Supreme Issue 8, 2025. So, we don't get this exactly. I mean, we do get Turin and Wanda fighting some stuff that the Extinction King's kind of tossing at them, but we don't get the big kind of buck that we get from this cover. But, it's still a pretty good issue with what we're kind of dealing with here. So, and this is really kind of cool. See? Sorcerer Supreme. Doing that kind of stuff. That's actually pretty cool. And colors, everything going kind of nutty here. Death looms. There's a cannon hidden in the astral plane. This is a problem, one I share with the Sorcerer Supreme of the Quantum Realm. The true weapon is above Turin. The maw we faced was just its ammunition. The ruins of the Sanctum Sublimum, London. Who could unleash such mayhem? Not the Vishanti, we disagree, but my would-be masters remain noble. They would never deal in mindless destruction. Masters, what kind of Sorcerer Supreme has a boss? I answer only to the sacred math. Here the Vishanti select the Sorcerer Supreme, but I was not chosen by them. Sounds like their problem. One look at you and your dedication to the realm is obvious. Wait, do you feel that? A shudder on the astral plane. See them kind of talking it out, and then we zoom in, it's like, oh shit, it's a-coming. The cannon is preparing to fire again. The first maw dug a gash out of the city. We might not survive another shot. The cannon is still just a machine. With the proper force, it can be broken. I bend gravity and pull the atmosphere up with us, so we can speak in orbit. There, we'll be in striking distance. Hey, thank you for thinking of that, actually kind of like explaining that they're like pulling atmosphere up with them so that way they can talk in space. It's a little thing, but it helps to connect stuff. I'm like, and somebody's not thinking in disbelief, why the fuck are they talking in space? Of the cannon. It's fired turn, 3 rounds, 3 maws, chunk, chunk, chunk. And I kind of like how this is done kind of staggered a little bit of how the kind of panels are done here. And red as the background to help delineate what's going on. There's still time. The maw's energy fields aren't active. Could mean contact sensors. They won't activate if they don't reach land. I've got a spell, but it's not casting right. You're still adjusting to Earth. Let the local Sorcerer Supreme carry the load. Inactive, these maws won't be able to shred our spells. They'll be trapped in the starving webs of a pace. Thank you, spider magic. I'm probably shredding that and mispronouncing that. I'm sorry. Wanda looking crazy there with some snakehead dress thing going on. That's cool. Now before the cannon can fire yet again, a taste of celestial venom. Let the spawn of Ta Prota Kur poison the weapon across all planes and tear what remains apart. It's like, shit, and then it's like, nope, thank you. Wait, it's healed. It's reset. A time loop, perhaps. But that loop can be hexed and broken, usually. Even the hex's damage has been reset. This isn't magic, it's worse. Turn, the cannon is touched by thaumaturgy, the raw power of the great old ones. That isn't good. It's like, ooh, okay, how are we going to deal with this? The many angled, but them I know, but they're not exactly builders. Someone clearly knows enough of their ways to fuel these maws, which isn't very good if they can utilize magic on that kind of level. They're already breaking your web. I'm trying to fortify it, but the maws want out. God, the maw's fields are active. It's not a contact sensor. It's a timer. I'm trapped. And we see that Turn is pretty much trapped between that. And like, that isn't good. I really like showing his green and then like the black and crackling energy there. It really gives you like, oh shit. But don't stop, Wanda. Even if I'm shredded, you've got to kill the cannon. And whoever sent it to us, sent it after us in the first place, the planet Mortarga. It's like, okay, then we get a little bit more on the Extinction King. It's like, okay, after so long buried beneath the crypt planet, you wake to a grim sky, a dead galaxy with no stars left to shine. You are sullen. I hear it in your voice, Extinction King. What weighs upon you? Nostalgia, a poison pride for all we once did. The armies ground to dust, the gods humbled, but not for our glory, for that of the Vishanti, for Hogoth and Oshtor. They did not seek to be war makers, you see. Once first they were holy travelers. So how strange it is that when they reach these stars, we see him talking to this weird kind of thing. It's like, okay, interesting. They met the unknown not with joy but with terror. They found their other, gods wholly unlike them. They named them the Akirim. Akirim, the other gods. But where the Vishanti sought to explore, to learn, the Akirim ruled a galaxy in pain. They wished nothing more than more. The others, Now aware of the Elder Gods, hungered for greater conquest. The Vishanti had to protect their home. War was inevitable, and so they conjured me, a great and dangerous work, born of carrion dredge from the outer dark, to win a war I did not start. Is this sounding a little bit familiar to anybody? Strange? So the Vishanti seem like they just utilize and use others for their own kind of goals. Now, is this in a kind of state of trying to ensure their survival? Probably. But we see that they then fucking locked him in a box and locked him with all of this shit. And then when he got out, he's not happy. I crafted your kind, the extinction weapons, and took my title in turn. Seeing him just like crack ass, like, oh shit. You are cursed ideas woven with mortaturgy, the most primal of death magic. Okay, now we've got an explanation, so that might be the key to Wanda having the ability to defeat these. Since they're woven with death magic, it's like, okay, that's important. I ward as the Vishanti's bulwark against the most alien of despot gods. Together, we eradicated the Akirim, but with the fog of war lifted, of course, seeing everything kind of going crazy, and I do like the use of green for certain kind of things. It helps kind of change it up. The Vishanti saw that I was quite insane, by their standards. It's like, yeah, because you were made to be a weapon, and they wanted that weapon away, because you're insane. It's like, fuck that noise. As if anything but madness could shoulder the weight of our atrocities. I'm only as I was made, and for that I was branded their shame. The justice for such crimes against my nature is long overdue. Go to Ostror's home. Already I have unleashed your kin upon Earth's sanctums. As he's kind of like holding one of them kind of in a weird kind of thing. It's like, alright. But such magic strongholds will be well defended. Join your fellow weapons. Welcome whatever resistance you discover to hell. Thank you, Extinction King. I've come to miss my work. As you should. After all, it has been many, many centuries. Ample time for my captors to plan for the weapons they know. An assault on magic will rouse the Vishanti. Then they will watch it die, and die in turn. But not at the hands of these old weapons. No. To complete this grand vendetta, it's like, oh, he's gonna make one, isn't he? I must craft the first new extinction weapon in millennia. The Mauls, their destruction fields, won't stop. This barrier won't hold back 3 of them, not for long. Turn has the Mauls occupied, for now. The cannon must be stopped. But its thaumaturgy is so volatile. Dispelling it incorrectly could trigger untold carnage. But there must be a way. There always is. A wizard, a god, even an elder god. Those I can reason with, but this is just a gun, just a weapon. That's it. How could I not see it? There's no time to explain. Turn is almost in pieces, but it's simple. If damage to the cannon is instantly undone, don't do damage. Do something else. How can you stop an enemy without wounding it? It's like, ooh, we get some interesting stuff here. Again, interesting kind of paneling layout and how you can kind of like follow the page as we get to Wanda and getting to it. And doing a pretty interesting thing here. I mean, you could probably go and hit that as like, oh, you're doing Naruto talk no jutsu thing. You make it think. She then talks to it and like gives it sentience and everything and like makes it more than a weapon. I've changed the cannon's nature, gifted it with higher thought and language. It was just a machine, now it is more. Is this being? Am I being? What a strange sensation, to wake to existence. Is this birth? Is it rebirth? It's like, oh, yeah. And I really like the design. It's like, okay, we saw the ship and everything, and now it's like, ooh, this is kind of different. Alright, good stapling, no loose pages at the moment. By the turning. The fields are still active, but they've stopped moving. I prefer the Mauls when inert, but for the moment at least, there's time to introduce myself. Don't be afraid, this must be overwhelming. But you are safe, you have my word. I'm Wanda. You've undergone quite the transformation, because of me. Why? Is that the correct word to use? Why? It's the perfect word. You were, and are, a weapon, one of immense power. Lives were at stake. I couldn't stop you, so I thought we might find alternatives. Alternatives? To firing, weapons don't usually comprehend their actions. Now you can. As we speak, your Mauls threaten my friend and many more on the world below. I'd like that to stop, so I thought we might be due for a conversation. A conversation, of course. A talk. I think I know what that is. I've never had a conversation. Wanda, will I like them? And it's interesting. It's like, huh, yeah. And seeing, like, the face and, like, seeing it kind of look at Wanda and seeing Wanda in the eyes, it's like, oh, this is interesting. Let's try it out. In this realm, it's my job to guard magic and everyone it touches. Without being conscious of it, you've endangered both. Not on purpose, wait. Then we see things going kind of like nutty doodah. It's like, whoa. And I like that it's like affecting the paneling too. You fear me. How odd. Though I have not brought, no doubt brought terror to many in my past form, to see it on your face, to experience it, is another thing entirely. I do not like it. And it's kind of cool. It's like, okay, good. We're on to something here. I'm sorry. I know how that feels. It's just, and it is good to have Wanda being that because of people fearing her of what she is able, at what she has done and what she is able to do. It's just, I've seen living beings torn to threads. The pain you cause, it must end. But unlike your creator, I'm giving you a choice. You can choose not to fire. A choice? I can gather what a choice is. I can define it, but beyond that, it's difficult. These choices, how do I actually go about making them? Which is an important kind of question. You might think it's silly, but sometimes you should be like, oh, you just have to make a choice. But sometimes when you're in it, sometimes there is no option to see other choices, and sometimes you're not given the option of other choices. Here, Wanda is. Clearly, this is going to take time, more than Turn has. And we see, of course, the clock going a little bit gnarly doodah, which is important because Wanda's doing some stuff. Without a dense time orb, a spell whispered into the history of the by the gods of Chronox. Inside the bubble, days will race past. Outside, Turn will barely finish blinking. I woke the cannon to consciousness. I gave it vast knowledge, but that's not enough. If it doesn't know what to do with all it knows, that takes life. That takes experience. Yes, Wanda. Thank you for being like, yeah, I did this, but that doesn't mean they know what's going on. And failing a lifetime of memories, it takes deep interrogation of how existing works. Turn is about to be killed. To me, he seems frozen in time, as I talk a weapon of mass destruction through the concept of being. You're now my oldest friend, Wanda, so I've got to ask, why make me this way? I'm sorry, the only memories I have to give are my own, and they are intense. I couldn't burden you like that, but I'm glad we were able to speak. It's an honor to help you find your voice. Now, what will you do with it? You mean, am I going to fire on Earth? I like choices. I think I'd like to make more. To do that, I've got to keep existing. If I want that freedom, mustn't others? Such freedom is a treasure. It's like, ooh, good on understanding that. And I like seeing the face on the side of the page like that. The fields, they're voided, they're gone. The malls are unshielded. I can't waste that chance. And of course, we see Turn take that out. It's like, yeah. You decided not to fire. And of course, we see it from the distance, which is actually pretty cool as well. Knowing what I'd be taking from others, how could I ever fire again? It's a heavy weight wielding power with grace. I'm still figuring it out myself. You've chosen well, but firing was your purpose. It's a unique suffering to lose that. It's okay, I've got a new one. I've got some ideas, and they start with my name. My creator called me Necropsy. All the same, I think I'd like a new one from you. I don't know what to say. I'd be honored anew. In the language of my home, you would be a ton, or a cannon. But that's what you were, not who you are. No. What about Eovan? A transient folk hero, a myth, an inspiration. Eovan, a hero. Eovan the Cannon. Without what I was, I couldn't be what I am. Eovan the Cannon, then. It's agreed. Thank you, Wanda. I'll carry it with me. I always will. And where would you carry it? To the stars, where else? I said I had some ideas. I'm going to explore. Now that I finally exist, why not do my best to see all in existence? I really hope I can. Because my creator won't stop. He wants to eradicate magic. Promise me, Wanda. Don't let the Extinction King destroy all of this. Because it's all magic. And don't wait up. I've got a lot to see. It's like, okay, so now you got the idea of who's coming after you. And it's like, oh, yeah. Sorcerer Supreme? More like Deaf Diplomat. I can see why you're in charge around here. I don't feel in charge, Turn. This Extinction King. Eovan didn't know much, but he told me the king had more weapons, and they're all targeting magic. I'm like, I totally get it with you there on Wanda not feeling in charge. I don't know how to fight him. Yes, until today, I never even heard his name. So we gather data, we build up our database, we theorize, but first, and I'm like, that's kind of my thought process, Turn. I'm like, totally get that there. We clean up a bit below. I assume they like things tidy in the grade above. Your report, Agent Shepard? Me? You're the boss here, Agent Wu. Or is it Alice? Or no, Deputy Director Wu? Just the Wu. But you're a rapid response agent for the UN Sorceress Crime Service. Now, you've got to do more than run fast. You've got to think fast, and often so. Report. It's like, okay, Speedy. All civilians secure. In minutes. No active spells on site. Well, besides yours. Everything in the blast zone is just gone. Totally gone. The wreckage fell in from the outside. Shock and awe requires an audience. This weapon was made to leave nothing behind. Somewhere, an existential nihilist is salivating. Mom, and hey, you picked up a stray. Turn Sud Ba, Sorcerer Supreme of the Quantum Realm. New in the big city. Tommy, speed. New to this magic stuff, but not to be Wanda's son. The last thing she needs is a sidekick. It's like, yeah, she needs, like, partners and helpers and everything like that. I mean, sidekicks do help, but, I mean, it's got a negative connotation with the name. It's like, no, you work with them. Haven't earned that yet, but it'd be an impressive title. Your mother, she just talked an ancient superweapon out of mass murder. She's incredible. Sure, just go right for something we can agree on. I'm glad to see you, Alice. In minutes, the cannon's attack destroyed so much. It shouldn't take a disaster to catch up, Wanda, but in this case, it could have been worse. A lot. The UNSCS has been developing a portable bunker, a prototype emergency dimension. Speed was, I got here 77 seconds after the healing sanctum fell. By the third minute, all the neighborhoods nearby were evacuated, even the pets. And I mean, there were 2 guys who had a pet pig, and I didn't expect that, and the hair on the oinklet was so coarse and he was feisty, but I got him to safety anyway, and I love that we're just hearing him talk about, like, having to deal with a fucking pig. It's just like, shit. Hold on, getting lost in the details. I updated the Woo, but she had to slow down the audio. By the time she sent new orders, you and the Wizard of the Tinyverse had zipped up to space. I was securing the perimeter and deploying protective salts when the Woo showed up. Sounds like good work, Tommy. You said not to go easy on him. Now listen, the kid's a fast learner. I'll forgive that pun only because you two saved thousands of lives. It's like, yeah. I'm like, ooh, these are interesting interactions. And because I must ask you for more, the cause of this, the Extinction King, is still free. So go hunting, Wanda. We'll stick around. The UNSCS is happy to take the lead on relief. Honestly, we're new to this scene. The positive optics won't hurt. It's like, yeah? Okay, just don't be a dick about your marketing and shit. You are a good friend, Alice, and an even better marketer. No spell will ever sway public perception as well as a viral video, but Wanda, this was a magic terror attack. When you find this king, you best show him some real terror. I'll be sure to pass on your regards. And that's a message I imagine I'll have to give alone. I can't help but notice your eye contact. You have your own realm to guard, Turin. I can't ask you to ignore it for mine. Is that what I'm doing? A big enough cataclysm up here always ripples down. And I kind of like that. It's like, yeah, it might not explicitly be in the quantum realm, but things have a knock-on effect. Stuff happens here, it does eventually carry. Right now, guarding the quantum realm means guarding the great above. I've made my case. I won't argue with your rebuttal. So, do we like the Sidekick Supreme? The quantum realm's magic is unique. I can see why your mother would be intrigued. She's not staring at it as wisdom. There's a big sky out there that I've never seen, Wanda. It's like, okie dokie. I say we should get to work. So, you've got a son. Guessing he gets his speed from his father? He's got his uncle's speed. His father is synthetic. It's all quite magical and complicated. Most families are. No shit. But then we see them, they're like going up there, but then things go a little bit nutty. I'd agree. My ex-husband might not. Speed's brother has his own story. Wait, Turn, do you feel that? What? Something's approaching. Ah, fast! Stay calm. It's matter energy transport. I felt it before. You've made quite the journey, sorcerers, as we see them kind of like whoop. It's like both brief and quite far. A great expanse, crossed in seconds, so much faster than light. Delivering you here to me. The necropsy was soft, a child's toy, really. Now you meet a true extinction weapon, a hateful sun whose orbit is pure agony. Welcome to the living graveyard of gods. Welcome to the grip of the torture star. And the thing is, before I was looking at this, I'm like, Dormammu got some kind of crazy ass thing. It's like, no, this is the torture star. And I'm like, okay, as he's like gripping him in his hand, and then he's like, oh shit. Really cool design. A little bit closer to Dormammu than I would like, but it's still a little bit different. So, let's crack into this. So, our little group has now been captured by another weapon, so we'll have to see how that works. Sorcerer Supreme Issue 9. Scarlet Witch and the Quantum Mancer must free themselves after being sucked into the Extinction King's newest machination, a deep black hole called the Torture Star. Stripped of their magic within the dark void, they'll need a miracle to make it back to Earth, and of course showing Doctor Strange Issue 8. So, I really enjoyed this because I liked seeing how Wanda in turn dealt with the cannon, and how it's like, yeah, you're not going to be able to destroy it. It's like, okay, then let me just fucking make it sentient and give it shit, and talk through with it. I'm glad Wanda didn't just like thunderplant her own memories into the cannon, because that could have made the situation vastly worse. It's like, fuck. And just seeing how that kind of goes, while also learning about the Extinction King pretty much being used in the same kind of vein that the Vishanti have been using people before. Now, a little bit differently, locking him up on a planet, but I like that it still echoes what the Vishanti have done with Strange, and before and have even done with Agatha Harkness. They use people for their own ends and do not care what happens to him afterward. And just thinking of him as an insane kind of weapon, and then him going, fuck that noise, and decided to take them out and utilize his extinction weapons on that front, and even trying to build a new one to take them on since they already know about the other ones. I'm like, that's actually pretty smart. Before having them be able to pretty much talk down the cannon, turning it into Aeon, the cannon, and it's just like, yeah, moving on, I'm good. Before, like, the torture star is getting him in their grasp. And the thing is, this thing pretty much seems to have its own kind of sentience and will at this point. So the same kind of trick is not going to work on this. And especially since their magic is probably not going to be useful in here from the tease for the next one, they are going to have a harder time kind of dealing with this. Now, I'm thinking, since of course we've got the Quantumancer here, his magic might be a little bit kind of different. And now, he might be able to think of some kind of sciencey kind of way or whatnot. Since his is more kind of science-based magic, we'll see how that kind of works out. But I'm interested to see how this works. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.